Hello everyone, and welcome back to my hardcore series, episode 2 I believe. I started off by making a diamond sword and a diamond shovel because I realized I didn't have them yet. I hadn't made one yet, and I had spare diamonds, so I figured why not. And for this episode is basically finish off the starter house, which I was planning to do first episode, but didn't get around to because it was getting way too long while I was editing it. So this is basically like a continuation of that. So that was me I was in the caves to try and collect some deep slate and stone for my house, because that's what I was planning on doing, and I found a slime, so that's pretty useful. And then I made this cow farm as well. Started off my cow farm because I was starting to run out of beef, and I need beef. And yeah, these are the materials for my starter house. Let's jump right into the time lapse. While I was halfway through the build, I encountered some funny chaps who went at me and then shot some crossbows and stuff. So yeah, I didn't have my shield handy, so I was kind of panicked for a moment there. But then I dispatched them easily, partly because they kept shooting each other. Look at them, they're all shooting their ally. Anyway, as you can see, I got that sweet achievement. The next thing I did was, I had enough XP to enchant something, so I enchanted my shoes, and I didn't get feather falling, so I'm likely going to fall to my death later on in the series, which is going to be unfortunate, but whatever. You know, what can you do? At this point, I was one piece away from getting full enchanted diamond armor, so I went to the nether, mined some nether quartz, and then enchanted my chestplate, which I didn't actually record, but there it is. Now at this point I was getting pretty sick and tired of mining nether quartz for XP. It's so slow, and I still had more things to enchant, so I decided I'd build a skeleton grinder around the skeleton spawner, but first I need to collect resources. So soul sand, kelp, amethyst for tinted glass. the actual spawner room, which took me actually a while to find again. But I found it, and next thing I need to do is dig out a 9 by 5 by 9 room around it, so that the spawn, so there's more places for the mobs to spawn. Alright, now that I'm done that, I just need to make a water source block and place the water. Just a little quick tip, you can use stairs on the end of water streams like this to help mobs fall down faster. Also, the last remaining thing for me to do was dig out the tunnel for the water elevator. So, I was really scared to do this because I was digging straight up and I was scared the creeper might drop on my head or lava or something, but fortunately that didn't happen. Now that I've dug out the tunnel and placed a water stream at a water bucket at the top to make a water flow, the only thing left to do is place the kelp, which if you don't know turns it into a source block, and then place the soft sand. After finishing the bubble stream, the next step was to build the room which you AFK in and ruthlessly slash out the skeleton's feet, which essentially it's just mining. But I actually had one moment where I got really close to dying, which I'm going to show you. Basically, I ran out of food and I ran out of health, and I was really deep down in the caves and I had to get out again. Which, yeah, was quite scary, but it pretty much amounted to nothing. I just walked back up and got food. Nothing attacked me. Anyway, after I finished getting food, I gathered some sand for glass because I was planning on making a big bubble vader up to the surface so I don't have to go through the caves all the time because they're scary and dangerous. But also the bubble vader path went through a cave, so I decided it would be cool if I had a glass tube so you can see the caves as you go up and down. I also had enough XP to enchant my sword, so I decided to do that. And I got a shoddy enchant, look. It's just sharpness 4 and unbreaking 2. Pathetic. With the glass collected, I set about placing hoppers and chests in the collection area. And after that, I mined out the rest of the AFK room and made sure it was properly, spacious, I guess you could say. With the collecting room finished, and I also placed the tinted glass, which I somehow didn't manage to capture on camera, but the only real step left to do was to break the torches, and I kind of got jump scared a bit. I don't know why. I wasn't expecting them to spawn that fast. But yeah, with that, the farm is fully done. In 3, 2, 1. Yeah, it's done. It also works. See? XP. Skeletons. And they're all one hit as well, so that's good. Ah, what a beautiful sound. XP. I used that XP to enchant a bow, and I got a absolutely awful enchant, no power, what? But anyway, the next step was, well, actually, the next step after what I showed you was to build a bubble vader up to the surface and a shoot down, like a fall down. But I already did that off camera because I would have put it in more detail, but it was 40 minutes of fiddling, and it was really tedious, so I just decided to cut it out. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. The next thing I wanted to do was build a little kind of hut around the entrance to the bubble vader because I kept popping up and then there being a bunch of mobs because I wasn't sleeping because I was in a cave. So I need some kind of protection against the mobs when I first pop up. So I decided to build a little hut, and I would have shown you a time lapse, but I forgot to record it. I forgot to turn replay mod on, so yeah, not happening. Instead, I'm going to give you a step-by-step of what I was thinking when I was building it and how I was going about building it and stuff. So here goes. First off, I just made 4 spruce posts because you can't really go wrong with 4 spruce posts. And then I filled in the middle bit with deep slate, cobbled deep slate because I like the look of it. And then made some wooden cross beams as well. After that, I decided that the cross beams didn't look all that good on their own, so I decided to add an arch with trapdoors, stairs, and slabs, just like this. I also wanted to make it like 2 stories, so I added a little bit of a slab, stair, trapdoor kind of like outcrop thing, which also kind of has a slight arch shape to it, which I'm planning to put like spruce logs on top of, more stripped spruce logs, and then maybe some stripped oak logs for the filler wall, so it can have like look like it's kind of overhanging a lot. Also at this point I decided that the cobbled deep slate walls looked a bit too plain, so I mixed in some deep slate bricks and polished deep slate and also tiled deep slate to kind of give it more of a interesting look, interesting texture, you could say. After that I moved on to the logs because, well, I may as well just kind of place them. Anyway, after I finished making a wooden log lattice work, I decided I was feeling a dark oak roof line, edge anyway, and a copper roof like middle thingy, filler, whatever. But the one problem with this, right, is that copper is like, I'm not sure if you know, but it's really hard to get like in large quantities. Need like 30 something blocks of copper. And you also need to wax it, so I spent like ages trying to get the bees breeding and like all that. Had to figure out how to do that. I also misplaced that. But anyway. I decided to go for like a kind of like, I don't know what do you call these roofs, but fairly steep like triangle kind of roof. And just with dark oak outside and copper filling. As you can see. But yeah, I guess may as well start with the coppering. I'm going to skip over most of that because it really took a while. I'm getting a bit off track, but I then enchanted a bow to try and get power, and got punch 2. Like, that's it. Wow, pathetic. And then I went to make a new bow because I had so much XP levels from grinding out in the skeleton grinder. But I didn't have enough string, so I then attempted to make wool into string, which didn't work. So then my next thought was, you know, I mean, like, when I think where to get string, what's the first thought? Piglin trading, exactly. Oh, that was just sad. But yeah, piglin trading, exactly. So then I went to the nether to trade with some piglin. But as soon as I went into the nether, I spotted these chaps here. And I must say, they gave me quite the fright. Have you ever seen, like, how do they spawn in the nether? I don't know, maybe they wandered in there, I don't know. But they sure jump scared me, I'll say that. Anyway, I was trading with the piglins for a while to try and get string. And then I got a splash potion of fire resistance, which I actually completely forgot that they gave you fire resistance. But, I mean, that's amazing, right? It's a hardcore world, you know. Carrying around a fire resistance potion with me at all times is a very good idea. I ended up getting string, and I enchanted the bow I made, and I got power 4, so I combined it with the infinity flame bow from earlier, and called it like in full caps, which is why my XP is so low now. But I apparently didn't record it because I'm an imbecile and don't know how to be a YouTuber. But yeah. Anyways, I'd pretty much completed the copper roof, except that I hadn't waxed it, and I completely forgot that you need like a proper bee thingy, like lots of honeycomb. Yeah, apparently farming bees is like immensely tedious because you just kind of have to stand there and just wait 5 minutes every time you want to breed them, and then like wait 3 minutes every time you want honeycomb out of the nest, and then wait, and then blah 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 blah. So anyway, I did that for like half an hour. That was really boring. I then got really bored of that and decided to go progress in the game and find another fortress, because why not, you know? Like, oh dear, nice audio. Anyway, I searched for another fortress for like yonks and yonks. And eventually found one. Along the way I got a bit distracted and did some piglin trading. I got like 6 pearls and like another like 4 fire res potions, which is pretty good. And I also got tons of string now that I don't need it. But that's just Minecraft for you. But the pearls are actually really useful because This is going to be like a full speech, be warned. The reason the pearls are really useful and I wanted pearls is because I was using a boat since I've been using a boat for ages to negate fall damage because you don't take fall damage while you're in a boat. Except that I just found out like a couple of days ago that there's a glitch in Java Edition, which is in 1.18.1, where if you fall 49 blocks in a boat, the boat breaks and you just die. And I've been using a boat in my hardcore world, and I just like absolutely freaked out when I saw that. So I can't use a boat anymore because imagine I fall 49 blocks and die. So I looked up like some alternatives, so like boat MLGing and like lava bucket MLGing and like I don't know, for negating fall damage in the nether. And the best one I came up with is pearls, just pearling down. So like if you fall off something high, you just throw a pearl at the ground and take 2 hearts of damage instead of like die. But yeah. I also absolutely clown this ghast. Oh. Gone. Easy peasy. Got that sweet achievement. Anyway, back on track. I found the nether fortress and just kind of took a screenie of the coordinates. Also, now I think about it, I was using Optifine, which is why the fog's turned off, which is a feature of Optifine. So I guess that's kind of cheating, but whatever, who cares. So just a quick recap of this episode. We built a starter house, which is pretty beaut. I love it. I also did some interior work off camera. The interior is basically what I was going for, is just like cellar vibe, lots of storage. So this is the storage room. It's kind of, it's got all your wants and needs. And then upstairs is the cat room. There's cats up there. That's it. It's just cats. Anyway, we also made a fully functional skeleton grinder, as you can see. Works. Items go in there. And a bubble vader back up. And for the entrance to the bubble vader and drop chute, we made this little tiny copper roofed hut, which is pretty beautiful. I quite like it. And of course, to wax the copper roof, we made a bee colony in the woods, which is also quite beautiful. Love the sheer amount of flowers. And lastly, but not least, we found another fortress. Anyway, that'll end it off for today's episode. If you enjoyed, please like. Goodbye.